Today, I'm going to be breaking down Gyakie and JBEE's new track, Scar, where as usual, I'm going to be talking you through the various elements that I'm picking up on as we go through it. Before we go ahead and get into the video though, if you have a track or an artist that you would like me to review, break down, whatever it is that you want to call it, then go ahead and pop that into the comments. Let's get it!
Flip the music. Running around with the scar on my leg. Who's gonna help all the pain? Release me from this hurt. You left me in jail. Left me in jail. Running around with the scar on my leg. Who's gonna help all the pain? Release me from this hurt. You left me in jail. Left me in jail.
Okay, right, so before we actually get into the first verse, let's unpack what we've heard so far. So we've had, we got opened up with some really nice guitars. We had some additional sounds thrown into the intro as well, just to create a kind of sense of ambience and atmosphere. We then get thrown straight into the chorus, and this is where we begin to hear those kind of, like those signature drill sounds, right? So like we get the bass, we get those pacey hi-hats, we get the snares that come in, and then later on in the chorus, the second segment of it, that's when the kick drum comes in. In terms of the vocals, like really good job on the execution of the vocals here, right? We've got Gyakie's vocals being reverbed, and what that's doing is it's doing two things. So it's helping to create a sense of space, right, within the vocals themselves, but it's also helping to convey the emotion behind like the message of this song. And if you listen like really carefully, there are some subtle vocal runs that are kind of just buried a little bit deeper in the mix, as well as some harmonies as well. And that's just kind of adding a little bit of kind of extra richness, a bit of fullness to those vocals. But they're doing a good job because actually they're not too prominent. They're not kind of like piercing through. And at this stage of the track, that's exactly what you want. It's just enough to add a little bit of kind of dynamic, I suppose, to those vocals. As far as an opening goes, it's absolutely spot on.
I was trying to make sure you're happy. I should have been focused on getting my pay. She's got me feeling like love is a game, and I cannot find my way out. It feels like I'm trapped in a maze. When I gave you my all, you weren't doing the same. I'm guessing we weren't on a similar page. Do you love me for me or the fame? Do you love me for me or the bands? If JB went clear, would you still claim him as your man? KMT all the time I invested, I should have been chasing bread with the gang. Love you again, I don't know if I can. Late nights we'll talk about goals and dreams. It's mad, we have so many plans.
Where'd you draw the line, say.
Okay, right, so, right, in terms of both the, I suppose, the contribution from both the artists, right, but as well as the instrumental, right, so they're doing a really good job of conveying the actual message of the song, right? And the reason why I point this out is because actually this is something that kind of lesser experienced producers, they can actually struggle with. You know, listen, this song, right, is essentially about a relationship that's not going too well, right? But what we're getting here is we're getting two sides of the coin. So we've got JB, you know, he's saying, you know, like, essentially, or questioning himself, you know, why did I put so much time into this relationship doing these things when I could have put that same energy and effort into doing something else that's going to reap me better kind of results. And he's also kind of pointing out here that, you know, the woman has a part to play in the state of this relationship, right? And then we've got Gyakie's kind of input here, and you know, she's saying running around with this scar on my leg, and what that scar, you know, that line with the scar, that represents the problems that they have in their relationship, and what she's saying here is well, you know, it doesn't matter what I do, right, or how I want to kind of let other people perceive how good my life is or what I look like on the outside and all this sort of stuff. right? I cannot get away from these problems. And that's what that scar represents, right? Because a scar goes with you no matter where you go. So yeah, listen, in terms of the song itself, I really like it. But in terms of the arrangement, so it's things like putting the chorus first rather than having the verse first. And then kind of just lots of chops and changes, harmonies, just choice of sounds, all this sort of stuff. It just does a really good job of conveying that message, but also the emotion behind it as well. So yeah, absolutely bang on.
But just say la, say la, say. Oda papa, me ni ungo. Na so asembinti we can go. Running around with the scar on my leg. Who's gonna help? I'm in pain. Release me from this hurt. You left me in jail. Left me in jail. Running around with the scar on my leg. Who's gonna help? I'm in pain. Release me from this hurt. You left me in jail. Left me in jail.
It's crazy, I thought you were holding me down. Feeling
Right, a couple of things here. Nice beat cut there, right? You see, like, very, very simple transition out the chorus into the second verse. We get a beat cut, we get the bass. And another thing that's been added here that wasn't in the first verse, right, is we've got Gyakie following up with some vocals, right? Just kind of layering the back end of some of those phrases with her vocals, right? Now they're starting to build the song out, starting to make it fuller, starting to give it sort of like a bit more power, a bit more impact.
I'm in pain. Release me from this hurt. You left me in jail.
Right, coming up.
Left me in jail.
crazy, I thought you were holding me down. Fell in love with a Ghana babe, but there's no love in this crazy town. So many times that you done man wrong right now, man, I feel like I'm losing count. Plenty of times that you told man lies, countless times I let you slide. You were taking a kid for a clown.
Right, listen to that bass variation there. Do 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 do. Right, listen.
Crazy, I thought you were holding me down. Fell in love with a Ghana babe, but there's no love in this crazy town. So many times that you done man wrong right now, man, I feel like I'm losing count. Plenty of times that you told man lies, countless times I let you slide. You were taking a kid for a clown. I lied when I said it was only you. It weren't just you, I was trying to pursue. Your friends told you that you weren't the only one. I was wondering how you knew. You miss the person I was before. You're saying I've changed ever since I blew. There were things you were hiding too. Don't act like you were the perfect view.
But you draw the line, say. But just say it loud, say. Oda papa, me ni ungo. Na so asembinti, we can't go. Running around with the scar on my leg. Who's gonna help? I'm in pain. Release me from this hurt. You left me in jail. Left me in jail. Running around with the scar on my leg. Who's gonna help? From this hurt, you left me in jail, left me in jail.
Nice outro now. Just kind of seeing us out to the end. Cut. Yeah, man, banging. So firstly, I really like the fact that it was a drill track. Not a drill fan, I'm not gonna lie. But I think here, both the artists and the production team done a really, really good job in terms of its execution, but also making sure that the emotion and the message of the song was conveyed. Instrumentally, I like what they've done in terms of ensuring that, you know, there were lots of chops and changes within the arrangement itself, right? So from the pre-chorus to the chorus into the verses, and even towards the back end, or in the back end of the song, they continue to kind of just add and take things away to make sure that it was constantly changing and it was constantly shifting. Vocally, I thought Gyakie done a blinding job in the pre-chorus and the chorus. We had big belting notes, but we also had subtle vocal riffs and harmonies that were added in there as well. JB, I thought he'd done a really good job of his delivery and kind of telling his side of the story. And then let's talk about the hook, right? And this goes back to the arrangement of making sure that they kind of put the chorus first before the verse, right? Because from the get-go, from the very start of the song, right, you combine it with all of the instruments, the melody and all that sort of stuff, plus you throw in the chorus. It's a really, really good way to hook you in. So yeah, listen, overall, this is an absolutely banging track. It's definitely going on the playlist. Okay, that's it from me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I will see you in the next one.